Season's greetings, everybody. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Well, everyone, December is here and my decorations are up, which means my heartwarming Christmas marathon can finally begin. And to start things off, let me take you to a place that's, well, believe it or not, cold all year round, which is not the North or South Poles. The Alps. For those who may not be familiar, the Alps are the highest and most extensive mountain range system that lies entirely in Europe, stretching approximately about 1,200 kilometers across 8 alpine countries. One of the highest summits in the Alps is none other than the Matterhorn, and in my opinion, it's the most famous in the entire Alps. But at the same time, I'm kind of jealous that my dad got to go there a long time ago before he met my mom and moved to the US. By the way, on the topic of the Matterhorn, almost every Disney fan knows that the Matterhorn bobsled ride would have to be Walt Disney's first roller coaster. But, did you know that the ride was inspired by a movie? Well, I didn't either until about 2 decades ago. And this movie is the subject of my blog today. Released on November 10th, 1959, the movie is Third Man on the Mountain. So, let's get started. Rudy Matt is the son of the best climbing guide in his village, who tragically died climbing the yet unconquered Matterhorn, or as they call it, the Citadel. Rudy's mom refuses to let her son climb, and he's going crazy for it if it were not for the love and understanding of Lisbeth. He strongly believes his father has discovered a secret path to the mountaintop that has so far eluded other climbers. Rudy is always getting in trouble for sneaking away to climb on his own when he is supposed to be washing dishes at the hotel. But the village is concerned over losing their reputation with the other villages, since their guides have been afraid to climb the mountains in the 16 years since the tragedy. When a famous British climber arrives with a guide from a rival village to climb the Citadel and also wants to hire local guides, Rudy and the village get their big chance at redeeming their reputation. So, what do I think of the movie? Well, in my opinion, this is an underrated Disney oldie, and I had a very thrilling time watching it. And to further explain why I enjoyed this movie, let's move on to Mustang Notes. The movie is based on the 1954 novel Banner in the Sky by James Ramsey Ullman. The novel was based on the real-life first ascent of the Matterhorn in 1865. The New York Times called it a superb mountain climbing story for younger readers, which makes me want to read this book someday if I can find it at my local library or bookstore. Movie rights were bought by Disney in July 1957. It was his 5th film shot in Britain following Treasure Island, Robin Hood, The Sword and the Rose, and Rob Roy. The script was written by Eleanor Griffin, and the job of directing the movie was given to Ken Anakin, who had made a number of films for Disney in the past. Filming began on July 23, 1958, and the film was made on location in Switzerland with Gaston Rebuffant as the head of the Mountain 2nd Unit Photography. It was mostly shot in Zermatt, a location that Walt Disney was familiar with from his ski trips. The studio portions of the film were shot in London, and the mountaineering scenes were shot in Rottenboden. The entire cast and crew, numbering 170, did a course in mountaineering before filming began. The extraordinary difficulty of making this film on the Matterhorn was chronicled in the Perilous Assignments episode of Walt Disney Presents. Now, in my opinion, while watching this movie, the fictional town of Kurtal looks like a very peaceful little village, And I like that they have a telescope while they watch mountain climbers. And I also think the Alpine mountains look very tough to climb, especially in real life. Plus, the part where the group climbed the Matterhorn, known in the movie as the Citadel, looks really, really challenging. Also to note, this film does teach a few decent lessons on teamwork and leadership. And now let's move on to the film's cast. Let's start with Captain John Winter, played by Michael Rennie. To me, Captain Winter is the best character in the entire movie, mainly due to him being a great mentor character and a decent father figure. Also, I like that he sees potential in young Rudy. Another thing I found interesting about Captain Winter is that he's based on Edward Whymper. Our main character, Rudy Matt, is played by James MacArthur, whom was in The Light in the Forest and The Swiss Family Robinson. Rudy works as a dishwasher at the Monte Orro Hotel, and he daydreams of scaling the Alpine mountains and becoming a mountain climber so that he can one day climb the Citadel in order to carry on his late father's legacy. In his spare time, Rudy seizes every opportunity to climb the smaller mountains surrounding his village against his mom and his uncle's wishes. In my opinion, while Rudy can be pretty reckless and stubborn at times, he's very brave and determined. Next we have Lisbeth Hempel, played by Janet Monroe, whom was in Darby O'Gill and the Little People. What can I say? I just love this character, and I think Janet Monroe gives Lisbeth a very optimistic and perky personality. Also, I like that she believes that a man must do what they're meant for. And now let's move on to my final words. Overall, Third Man on the Mountain is a classical Disney film, and it's one of the few that I wish I could have watched when I was little. The story is daring and thrilling. It gives decent lessons about leadership and teamwork. Some of the characters are pretty enjoyable and memorable, and despite a few difficulties behind the scenes, the cinematography is amazing. If you folks want to watch this movie for yourselves, look for it on DVD or on Disney+. As for my rating, I'll give it a 79% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time, because next we'll be looking at a 9-minute animated segment taking place in a galaxy far, far away. Mustang Power.